Hey everybody, this is Felicia. I wanted to talk to you today about the Atlantis victim archetype. If you remember from my last video, we talked about the Atlantean survivor archetype. There are two core archetypes that have come in if you incarnated from Atlantis. And if that was your most impactful lifetime, obviously our souls have had hundreds, if not thousands of lifetimes. And so you may have a different lifetime that was more impactful in your current lifetime than Atlantis was, but you may still be operating from some patterns that came in from Atlantis. And now, if you're reading the blogs and watching the videos that I'm making and you really feel like this is a big deal for you, you really feel like you're resonating with everything that I'm saying, then I think that's a pretty good sign that you came in with one of these core archetypes. Now, I don't want to focus on the survivor one because that one's on a different video, so make sure you let me know your feedback on that. But just for today's archetype, the victim archetype, this is for those of you that passed away, that died on Atlantis. You did not survive. You did not move on to other areas of the world, other civilizations. You actually died there. Now, the core wound that you would have coming in from that archetype is abandonment. Now, when I say just briefly what I mean by the word archetype is you are operating from patterns that resonate and represent this victim archetype. So when I'm talking about core wounds, it means a core wound is when I see it energetically, to me, it looks like a void. It looks like a missing part of the energy. And the only thing that repairs something like this is you healing it, you figuring out what it's going to take to repair this part of your energy. And for the victim archetype, that core wound is abandonment. So the reason that that's the core wound is if you died on Atlantis and you had a family member or friends or whatever, whoever you called family, people you love, whether it was blood relatives or not, and you were not able to be with them. Because remember, the way, and I haven't talked a lot about this, I will in upcoming videos, so just stay tuned, but the way that Atlantis was destroyed, the way it fell, was very traumatic. And so you were probably sitting there, and it's going to be a little different for everyone, every lifetime's different, but you were probably sitting there wondering what's going on, and you had a lot of fear that came up. And so when we feel like that, we almost regress to a more childlike state of wanting to have the people that you depend on, the people that you love, be there with you. And so if you're in this victim archetype, you're feeling really let down, and it's repeating through your life right now. So what that will look like is attracting people to you that are never going to be there for you in the way that you need, like emotionally, or when you really need them, they don't show up, right? You're always feeling let down. And that's this abandonment energy coming up for you to address it. Because what happened in Atlantis was that's how you felt when you died. And that's why the pattern's repeating right now. Patterns repeat in order for us to bring them up and heal them. So if it's something that you're going through right now, it's not a matter of going over the trauma repeatedly of what happened. We want to look at the lifetime one time, two times, whatever it's going to take, just so you can resolve and heal it within yourself. We don't want to like dwell in past lifetimes because they are in the past and they technically don't have any impact on what we're going through right now. And that is true, even more true when you recognize it. When you recognize the pattern, what happens is you bring awareness to it, and awareness is light. So you bring light to the situation, you become aware of it, and that's when you can make different choices and heal it. So this abandonment lifetime and energy is really calling for you to take a look at what's going on here and what can I do to repair this? Because like I said, it looks like a void in your energy. So back to Atlantis for a minute. If you died on Atlantis and you weren't able to reconnect, which let's face it, it was really hard to reconnect because this happened so quickly and the water came in so quickly. It was hard for people to come back together. And so I think maybe just seeing the lifetime or seeing what happened will help you have a better understanding of the fact that you probably weren't really abandoned. People probably did want to come and try to help you, try to find you, try to save you. And so that's where we could look at it from a higher perspective and ask to see the truth, like what actually happened here. Not what I feel or what I thought was going on, but what actually happened. And so healing is really helpful for that. Regression is really helpful for that. Seeing the lifetime again is helpful. But the main pattern that we're looking at today is abandonment. So it's this energy of feeling let down and feeling like when you need people the most, they're not there for you. Now, this will cause a lot of problems in your relationships because you will keep people at arm's length, hand's length. Well, not hand, arm, right? You'll let some people in, but keep most people out. This is an energy of really not trusting people until they really prove themselves. See, that's not by nature how we really work. We generally trust people first, and then when they break our trust, we make different choices. We start to put up barriers and boundaries is the common term for that. And we start sort of shielding the heart. Your archetype is a little bit different than this. Your heart is already shielded. This is something that you came in with. And so you're very discerning with people up front, but not discerning in the most healthy way. You generally just block everybody out until they prove it to you, right? So they really need to come forward and show you before you're willing to drop any of this. Now, if you're dealing with this pattern, what you'll see happen is when you do let people in and you do let them into your heart and they hurt you, which, let's face it, just happens in relationships. Like, this is just part of relating with people. People are going to feel hurt sometimes, and you just have these things you need to work through, right? But to you, it will feel like the ultimate betrayal if somebody does something like this. It will crush you. And what happens is your heart walls get even higher the next time. And so you start carrying this baggage throughout your life and into relationships repeatedly. And what's happening for you is likely, right? What's happening is you're just going to continue attracting people and you're going to feel called to let people in, but then you're going to keep them at arm's length and you're going to watch this repeat like a broken record. Well, you'll let people in, they'll hurt you, and then you'll do the same thing. And then if it goes too far, and this may be something you're experiencing, I don't know, let me know. If it goes too far, you'll start making decisions that are in alignment with the abandonment identity. So this is you saying things like, I'm just too busy for a relationship, like I just want to be on my own. Something like this will threaten your independence. So you'll attract relationships that feel very restrictive to you, or where the other person is controlling or trying to control you. That's something to really watch out for. And I'm not saying to heal it and be with a controlling person, but I'm saying you really need to look at control in your own life and how much you're restricting yourself and limiting yourself, because that's really the core issue. I'm not saying to be with the person, but I'm saying maybe take some time away or break it off or whatever, but look at where you're being so self-restrictive on letting love in and so controlling of yourself to let love in, to open up. This is where you'll have trouble. If you were in the victim archetype, you'll have trouble opening up. You will have trouble being visible. You will not expand in your business. You will not open up that energy because it requires you to be seen. And in order to be seen, you need to open your heart more. Clients and money and business and opportunities, they all come into heart chakra and from heart chakra. So if you have these great big walls up, you're not opening up, you only let certain people in. Think about it as like a filter, you know? It's like, okay, if it's the right fit and it's just the right perfect thing, they'll be able to get in there. But if you're wanting to expand to more people, I mean, I see this with people, especially with money situations. It's like, we all can be abundant. We all are abundant, but what is it that's stopping that abundance from being realized? That's the question. It's not a matter of that you have everything you need. It's a matter of what's stopping it from manifesting in your life. I think that's what's really important to look at here. So whether you call that a block or something else, I mean, to me, it looks like filtering. There's all these, it's like a maze in front of your heart. It's like, where does the energy go? You know, it's not open and accessible. And this would require you opening up like that. It would require you to be vulnerable, just really open and out there. So this pattern can be healed. This is just a short video to kind of help you connect with my energy, pass this message on from what's going on with these archetypes that we're seeing come up so much, and let you know that there is a way out. This is something, yes, that you incarnated in with, and it will take some work to release the pattern, but mostly once you become aware of it, the awareness is light, like I mentioned before. It's like shining a light right on it. Now, when we shine a bright light on something, it casts a shadow, right? So shining a light on something, you're going to see shadow things come up as well. These are your patterns. These are things that are limiting you in this lifetime. But we need to approach them from a place of like grace, gratitude, and forgiveness. Okay? Self-forgiveness. And really working through these energies as they come up. And the more that you show up for your own healing, the more that you really show up and go, you know, I get it. This is hard right now. I don't really like it, but I'm going to show up for it. And I'm going to be here and fully present because I want to heal this. And then you start to make different choices based on that, based on this new identity, this new environment that you're putting yourself in. What you'll find is that it heals way more quickly if you have no resistance to it. And I know it's easier said than done sometimes, but if you really can take a step into faith and trust and go, you know what? I don't know how this is going to turn out, but this is what I'm feeling called to do. And this is the direction I'm going to move forward in. And these are the choices I'm going to make. And you base that on reflection. When I've made these choices before, this hasn't worked out for me. So now I'm going to make these choices and try something different. And that's how we start to move past this energy and really hit that next level and move out of this archetype, because this is a deep karmic pattern. But deep doesn't mean you need to keep digging yourself deeper. It means you get to the deepest part of it and you start building a new foundation. Think about like digging a hole for a plant. You dig in, you get to the root cause of it, you got to pull out all the old roots, start fresh, and then you start building new roots. That's what we want to do here, is get some new roots in, brand new plant. Allow yourself to expand and work towards the light. They're always there to support us as well. Your spirit guides, your angels, the ascended masters you work with, God, universe, whatever you call it, that light is here to help you. So if you have any questions at all, please put it in the comments below. And I would love to work with you. If you're feeling like you have an Atlantis lifetime, I offer sessions to do a very light regression. It's very light. We just do it on the internet and on a conference call together and work you back into that lifetime or whatever lifetime is most negatively impacting you right now, so we can bring that awareness into it and help you move past it. So I will put that link below, and if you'd like to book in for that session. And I also want to invite you to join my free Facebook group. I'm working on connecting all of the soul tribes. Atlantis is only one of them. So even if you're reading about this and you're not quite sure if you're from Atlantis, There are lots of other soul tribes, and this group welcomes all of you together so we can sort of reunite and start working towards the collective healing. And I would love to have you in the group. So say hi below, and I'll see you on the next blog and video. All my love. Bye.